spring herbs that are popping up around us.
Nos comenta que el diente de león es buenísimo y por eso es bueno en la temporada en que ocurre. No nada más es bueno contra las gripas, sino que también es muy bueno para limpiar. Entonces venimos entrando en la primavera, que es cuando aparece el diente de león en los jardines. Después del invierno se acumulan las toxinas, nos volvemos un poquito más encerrados, entonces con el diente de león nos podemos desintoxicar y limpiar preparándonos para esa primavera y el diente de león es perfecto para eso. So, what other favorites do you know? I know you have a beautiful garden and an extensive collection of herbs. What are some of the others that you recommend, for example, for the summer?
Calendula is really great for our skin. It helps to clear and heal, bug bites or itchy redness, and you can make that into a salve. I like to put calendula and lavender to relieve the redness and inflammation, and it smells great and it leaves your skin beautiful.
Estamos platicando referente a la caléndula. La caléndula es muy buena para la irritación de piel, es muy buena para lubricar y mejorar la calidad de la piel. La combina con un poquito de, what was that? You combine it with
lavender and calendula.
Lavanda y caléndula. En una infusión o ungüento para mejorar la condición de la piel.
That's also a great combination to put in the witch hazel and use it as a toner, and it'll cleanse your skin and tones your skin without all the chemicals that come in the grocery store bought toners.
Y también para tonificar la piel nos está recomendando que utilicemos la caléndula con un vehículo de amamelis o el witch hazel, que lo podemos ayudar para aplicarlo en la piel y con eso tonificamos la piel y ¿cómo se dice? La consistencia de los poros se limpia y se cierra, un astringente muy bueno. So what about winter? What's good for fall or winter?
In the winter, I like to make what is called digestive bitters, and it's really things you have around the house, or I do ginger root, some cinnamon, cardamom pods. Might throw in some hydrangea for your kidneys, but it's really great to take that whenever you're eating all that rich, heavy food because it helps you to digest it better. And it's called digestive bitters, and there's many, many recipes that you can use but that's definitely something that the audience should look into for winter months.
Bueno, pues Miranda nos recomienda que para el invierno, el otoño y el invierno, como es cuando comemos un poco más porque hace frío, estamos acumulando más calorías, se nos recarga un poco el estómago, entonces recomienda las hierbas amargas y hay diferentes combinaciones. La que ella nos está recomendando, a ver, what was that combination again?
Well, I do it a little bit different each time depending on what I'm needing at the time, but ginger root, cinnamon, you can throw some turmeric in there to relieve inflammation in your body, the cardamom pods, and you put that in apple cider vinegar. It needs to be raw apple cider vinegar, and that will help with your digestion tremendously.
Bueno, entonces preparamos una de sus favoritas combinaciones. Dice que toma lo que tiene a la mano, que es de temporada o que tiene accesible en su cocina. Por ejemplo, el jengibre con la canela, un poquito de cárdamo y turmeric. Turmeric para antiinflamatorio. Se diluye en una infusión de vinagre de manzana para poder aplicarlo.
Y about 6 weeks you should infuse the vinegar.
Como por 6 semanas. Entonces con esas 6 semanas se diluyen las esencias de las hierbas, los condimentos, y entonces ya queda listo. And how do they, is it a teaspoonful or do you
about a tablespoon? It really depends on what you've ingested and how heavy it was and your own constitution for your body, so it's different for everybody really.
And do you take it after your meal or?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Entonces ya que tiene la bebida preparada, se puede tomar una cucharada después de los alimentos y con eso ya mejora mucho su digestión.
Right now is the time of year for elderberries, and that will really build your immune system and keep you healthy through the winter months. So I harvest a lot of elderberries and make a lot of elderberry elixir in my house.
Nos está recomendando uno que es ahorita de temporada y más adelante vamos a ver la imagen de lo que son las elderberries. No, I don't know what the elderberry is in Spanish. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
Pero vamos a ver la imagen más adelante. Les vamos a mostrar cuál es el elderberry y es la que está ahorita de temporada, que es ya el otoño, preparándonos para tener un sistema inmunológico más fuerte para combatir las gripas. And what else do you think is important about herbs, natural herbs, that other people might not know?
Well, allopathic care or Western medicine as we know it is not even 200 years old, and we've been here thousands of years. So everything we need is here naturally.
Le pregunto a Miranda qué es lo importante que debemos saber de la herbología y nos dice que la medicina alópata ha estado aquí 200 años, pero la herbología ha estado siempre con nosotros y por eso es muy importante porque siempre está a la mano y siempre ha sido una terapia fiel que nos ha ayudado a sobrevivir tanto tiempo. Es benigno y es natural.
For example, raspberry leaf tea. I've really been getting my girls to try to drink that. It's great for balancing hormones, and just a cup of tea can relieve painful cramps and mood fluctuations.
Estamos hablando ahora de una recomendación para las jovencitas, para las mujeres, que es el raspberry tea, té de zarzamora. Tiene una propiedad que es muy importante para balancear las hormonas, entonces todo lo que tiene que ver con hormonas para las mujeres durante el periodo menstrual, molestias, dolores, inflamación, el raspberry tea es muy importante para eso.
Tea is probably the easiest way to introduce it into people's lives because we drink a lot of tea anyways, so we might as well use medicinal herbs. You can chickweed, the raspberry leaf tea. What's big in my house? Man, we do all kinds. A cup of calm, which I was drinking whenever I came in. You can boil the lavender, rose petals, and tulsi is really good.
Bueno, entonces nos está recomendando que si tenemos la costumbre de tomar té, ¿por qué no hacerlo un té herbal? Siendo que el té herbal nos va a dar mucho más beneficio sin cafeína y sin otros malestares. Entonces recomienda mucho el de zarzamora, también what was the other one? Raspberry
leaf tea, tulsi. I could go. I have a whole shelf of so many. Chamomile.
Camomila, que es la manzanilla, como le llamamos también. Estaba recomendando también, what was the other one that you had? Chamomile,
lavender,
lavanda, té de lavanda para calmar en diferentes combinaciones que se pueden hacer también para calmar los nervios y reducir el estrés. Todo es muy buena combinación de hierbas naturales. So tell us what brought you to herbology. Did you have some other connection besides your immediate health?
Well, growing up, I always loved plants. I loved being outside. I loved the flowers. So it was just a natural thing for me to come back to.
Le preguntaba yo a Miranda si había tenido alguna otra conexión con las hierbas que vino a identificar, pero vamos a tomar un descanso aquí y volvemos en unos minutos.
¿Eres beneficiario del DACA? No lo pienses más. Renueva tu permiso ya antes que esta ley sea removida. Llama ya a la oficina del abogado Cristóbal Galindo. 713-228-3030. 713-228-3030. Y te ayudaremos. No dejes que pase el tiempo y continúa siendo un soñador. Recuerda, llámanos al 713-228-3030. 713-228-3030. Te garantizamos que tu primer consulta será gratis.
Si tú sanas, todo tu entorno también. Ven a sanar con Vania y deja tu dolor, tristeza, frustración y sufrimiento. Reserva tu espacio para consultas con profesionales al 281-745-4309. 281-745-4309. Sana ya.
Esto puede sucederte en cualquier momento y en cualquier lugar. Tú podrías estar involucrado en una situación como esta. No hay manera de prevenirlo, pero sí cómo resolverlo. De la mano de quien te puede ayudar, tu abogado Cristóbal Galindo.
Soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza, y tú cuentas conmigo.
Estamos para ayudarte. Nuestra primer consulta es completamente gratis. Llámanos ahora y haz una cita ya.
¿Te gustaría tener tu propio programa de radio y televisión? CBBA Radio te crea tu propio show. Creamos tu contenido, paquete gráfico, copia de tu programa, repeticiones, promoción en canales de televisión y revista con Vania. Llamadas en cabina desde cualquier parte del mundo, vía WhatsApp y Skype. En vivo por cbbaradio.com, Facebook y YouTube. Y lo mejor de todo, no necesitas tener experiencia. Todo esto a un precio de aniversario de $80 por una hora de programa. Llámanos ya al 281-745-4309 o escríbenos a info@cbbaproduccion.com. Reserva tu espacio ya.
Sí. Hola, bienvenidos nuevamente. Estamos aquí con mi invitada especial, Miranda Sparks Nieves, y estamos platicando acerca de la herbología, aprendiendo diferentes combinaciones de hierbas, tés y compresas que pueden ustedes aplicar y utilizar en su casa para obtener buenos resultados. Miranda, la siguiente pregunta para ti, ¿qué es el herbalismo y cómo funciona? What is, to you, herbalism and how does it work?
Well, herbalism is the study of and use of plants for medicinal purposes and to supplement our diets.
Es el uso de hierbas naturales para suplementar nuestra salud y también nutricionalmente. Aquí tenemos unas muestras.
This photo is bee balm and feverfew, and it's very medicinal for our bodies. The bee balm is great for colds and flu, and the feverfew is great for headaches.
Aquí esta combinación es bee balm y feverfew. Después vamos a poner la información para ustedes para aclarar todas las hierbas que de las cuales vamos a platicar el día de hoy. Son buenos para dolores de cabeza.
It's also what I use to make mosquito repellent.
Y es lo mismo que utiliza Miranda para contrarrestar los mosquitos. Entonces, para repelarlos, ya saben cuál es esta combinación que pueden utilizar ustedes también.
I infuse these herbs in witch hazel and let it sit for about 6 weeks and then put it in a spray bottle. And I might add a little essential oil of citronella, but this works pretty well on its own.
Nos dice que esta combinación la deja en una infusión 6 semanas. What is the vehicle with witch hazel?
Witch hazel.
Con amamalis, la remojas por 6 semanas y después pones el líquido en una botella de spray para rociar y con eso contrarrestas los mosquitos. Le puedes agregar también unas gotas de citronela. So, do you find these locally? How do you get them?
Yes, I try to do everything that I find growing locally or in my own yard. The bee balm is everywhere down here in our area.
Le pregunto a Miranda si estas plantas las tiene que comprar, adquirir en algún lugar o si las puede encontrar uno aquí localmente, y nos dice que sí, que son muy populares, muy comunes en esta zona, y aquí pueden encontrar el bee balm y el feverfew. Entonces están muy prevalentes en los jardines, sobre todo en esta temporada, y por eso se utilizan ahora para contrarrestar los mosquitos o para ayudar a la salud.
I think it's very important to wildcraft or grow my own as much as possible to ensure that I'm getting a quality herb to make my medicine with.
Nos dice Miranda que su preferencia es plantar las plantas ella misma en su jardín o localizarlas en la región para obtenerlas frescas, que es la mejor calidad que puede adquirir y por eso lo recomienda ella así. So, let's see if we can look at the next picture. A ver, vamos a ver la siguiente imagen. ¿Qué es esta imagen, Miranda? What do we have here?
This is my tea before the herbs have soaked into the water. I just throw it all on top and it looks pretty, so I snap a picture.
Este es un té en preparación, está preparando su té, entonces aquí antes de que se cueza están todas las hierbas que va a utilizar. Aparte de que se ve bonito, va a estar muy delicioso ya al final.
And in this photo, we have burdock root, which is great for cleansing out our major organs. Rose petals for calming. The vervain is the purple one. That's a calming.
Bueno, aquí tenemos burdock, que es para limpiar, cleansing.
Cleanses
Burdock.
all of our vital organs.
El burdock lo utiliza para limpiar todos nuestros órganos vitales. Pétalos de rosa. What are the rose petals for?
The rose petals, they give you a well-being feeling, a calming. It's just like smelling them. It's love.
Ajá. Es muy interesante, aquí nos está explicando Miranda que los pétalos de rosa, que son muy calmantes, es lo mismo que si estuvieras oliendo las flores, por eso las rosas son muy populares porque nos dan un bienestar que se compara al amor. Es por eso muy bonito tener las flores frescas, pero cuando no, los pétalos los puedes utilizar cuando es una flor orgánica en un té, como tenemos aquí en este ejemplo. What else do we have on there?
The green leaves are passion flower vine leaves, and those are excellent for any kind of pain you have, backaches, headaches, anything like that. Passion flower is my go-to.
Las hojas verdes largas nos dice que es passion flower. El passion flower lo utiliza mucho para cualquier tipo de dolor y lo tiene siempre a la mano precisamente por eso. Puede ser dolor muscular o de alguna otra de algún otro tipo, siempre teniéndole a la mano el passion flower, la pasionaria me parece que se llama, y aquí lo está combinando en este té también. ¿Y cuáles eran las flores azulitas? The blue flowers, what were those?
Those are wild vervain.
Las flores azules son verbena salvaje, y la verbena salvaje es what do we use it for?
Vervain, it's a nervine. It calms your nerves, relieves stress, along with the holy basil that is also in there. That's the green in the background. The base is holy basil, and it's a adaptogenic herb, and it will help with stress of the overall.
Entonces la verbena salvaje es un calmante que ayuda a desestresar, igual que la albahaca salvaje, que es el polvito verde que tiene en el fondo, aquí la tetera. Y ambas en combinación son muy buenas para calmar y reducir el estrés. And what are the light pink petals? Are those
are more roses.
More
I have
roses.
several different color rose bushes.
Le pregunto a Miranda qué es los pétalos color de rosa claro. Me dice que también son rosas, que le gusta aplicar diferentes tipos porque tiene diferentes en su jardín y le gusta la combinación para dar mejor sabor.
This is something that's different every time. It just depends on how I'm feeling and what I need at the time. I just go to my shelf and I throw a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Entonces dice que esta combinación es diferente siempre, todo depende del humor que tenga, de lo que tenga disponible en su cocina, cómo hace sus combinaciones y qué es lo que resulta, es algo especial para ese momento. And what do we have in the background there?
Those are the herb containers. The little bag on the side is the burdock root. The one in the middle by the little spoon is it's chamomile and holy basil mixed together, and then the jar of rose petals. And I can't place what the one next to the rose petals is at this time.
Entonces aquí le pregunto a Miranda qué es lo que tenemos aquí al fondo. Entonces es como ella guarda sus hierbas para mantenerlas frescas y de buena calidad. Están los pétalos de rosa, está la verbena, la albahaca salvaje y su cucharita para medir. So once the tea has boiled or steeped, what is your favorite way of doing that, and what do you do next?
Well, I let the water boil and then add these, and after it steeps, I just have a little colander that I put over my cup, and I just pour it directly into my cup. I mean, you can buy those little metal balls that so you don't mix it in with the water, but I love how pretty it looks, so I like to mix all the herbs in.
Entonces le pregunto a Miranda que cómo es la preparación, entonces si la deja hervir o si la deja que se cueza al vapor. Me dice que hace ambas. El cocimiento a vapor es una manera más sutil donde se sueltan las esencias en el agua y es como se recupera un poquito más, se guarda un poquito más la esencia, que es lo que estamos persiguiendo. Nos dice que al momento de prepararla se enfría y la cuela y entonces ya lo puede utilizar así. Dice que podrías seleccionar cada una de las hierbas y ponerlas en diferentes contenedores que se utilizan en la tetera para separar las hierbas, pero nos dice que le gusta prepararlas así en combinación porque aparte de que se ve más bonito, le gusta cómo se cuecen juntas y por eso no le gusta separarlos. Ya que terminas de cocinar el té, entonces sí los cuela y ya está listo para tomar.
I really feel that allowing the herbs to move freely in the water releases more of the medicinal properties. If they're all locked together in a small bag, the little mesh bags, or the metal little one you can buy for making your own teas like this, I just feel like it's not able to release as much. I like to see it dance around and know that all of the good properties are coming out.
Bueno, nos dice que la razón por la que le gusta aplicarlo de esta manera es porque prefiere que las hierbas estén en combinación y hirviendo juntas como en un baile, bailando juntas, soltando su esencia, dejarlas libres, que hagan su trabajo como si estuviera, no empaquetándolas en bolsitas ni en coladeritas donde se ponen en la tetera, sino soltando su esencia así en combinación, libremente hirviendo en el agua y dejando como resultado un té mucho más fragante. Aquí tenemos un ejemplo. Vamos a preguntarle a Miranda qué es lo que estamos viendo en esta imagen. What is this image?
This is chickweed, and on the left is some that I bought in bulk from a store bin, and the one on the right is one that I grew and dried myself.
Nos dice que esta hierba es chickweed. En la mano izquierda tenemos el contenedor donde es chickweed comercial y en el lado derecho es el chickweed que ella misma obtuvo de su jardín. ¿Y por qué prefieres hacer esto de esta manera? Quizás sea obvio, pero explícanos un poquito más. Explain a little bit more why you like to do it this way.
Okay. Whenever you're making your medicine, you need to make sure you have high quality herbs so that you can get all the medicinal benefits from the herb. If it's dried too fast at too high of a temperature, it turns brown and crumbles. Your herbs should never be brown. They should always retain some of their color and smell.
Nos dice que es muy importante trabajar con hierbas de calidad, por eso prefiere trabajar con hierbas que ella misma conoce y puede recolectar de su jardín. Cuando, por ejemplo, en el lado izquierdo tenemos que las hierbas ya están un poquito café, se están perdiendo su color, están un poquito más aplastadas, más procesadas y van perdiendo el valor de su esencia, entonces su valor medicinal también se ve reducido. Y al contrario, en la botella del lado derecho vemos como aún mantienen ese color más fresco, más sano, más saludable y por eso el resultado va a ser un té o una aplicación mucho más sana y completa. Tell us a little bit more about the collection and maintenance and keeping up the herbs.
Well, whenever you have the dried herbs, you should really only keep it for about a year. Mm-hmm. And I go through them so frequently that's no problem for me. But whenever you're drying your herbs that you've grown or you've collected in the wild, it needs to be slow and low.
Nos dice que es muy importante utilizarlos durante un año, no guardarlos más de un año porque pierden su valor. Dice que para ella no hay ningún problema porque ella los utiliza mucho más frecuentemente y entonces no tiene ese problema, pero para ustedes que los tienen en casa, tengan en cuenta que el valor medicinal y nutricional se va perdiendo conforme se van almacenando, entonces no los guarden más de un año y traten de buscar unas hierbas más frescas para mantener ese valor. You said keep them for a year.
Once they're dried, yeah, about a year.
For a year. And what else should we do in keeping them dry?
Oh yes, you need to keep them in a cool, dry place. Make sure that they're completely dry before you put a lid on them. And sometimes when I put the lid on them, I don't even screw it all the way down at first, just to make sure that, it's got a little airflow, because you don't want it to mold.
Bueno, nos dice que es muy, muy importante ver que las hierbas estén secas y no sellarlas, sino que tengan un poquito de respiración en la botella o en el contenedor donde los coloquen para que no se vayan a enmohecer. Entonces así se mantienen más frescos y más sanos. What are some of the ways that you can dry the herbs?
Well, a screen is really great if you have one available because it has airflow on all sides. So that's really great. I also just lay them out on paper towels on my dining table that's rarely used, and I turn them over. Just pay attention to them.
Bueno, ahorita vamos a hacer la traducción de la explicación de cómo mantenerlos. Vamos a un descanso y ahorita volvemos.
¿Personas detenidas en un centro de detención buscando salir bajo fianza? No te preocupes, las oficinas del abogado Cristóbal Galindo cuentan con personal calificado para defenderte. También contamos con trámites para tu asilo político, procedimiento de remoción y deportación. Si has sido víctima de algún crimen, has sufrido violencia doméstica por un ciudadano americano residente permanente, entonces llámanos ya al 713-228-3030. 713-228-3030. Tu consulta será gratis.
Si tú sanas, todo tu entorno también. Ven a sanar con Vania y deja tu dolor, tristeza, frustración y sufrimiento. Reserva tu espacio para consultas con profesionales al 281-745-4309. 281-745-4309. Sana ya.
Sí. Hola amigos. Se nos ha acabado el tiempo, vamos a dar cierre al programa, pero vamos a mantenerlos informados de la información que estábamos discutiendo. La vamos a poner en mi página de Healthy Balance en Facebook. Si ustedes quieren ir ahí vamos a tener la información de las diferentes hierbas que platicamos hoy y las recetas y recomendaciones que nos dio Miranda. Ahorita vamos a dar cierre y los espero la próxima semana con mi segundo tip de anti-aging. Hasta luego. Vamos a dar comienzo a la versión en inglés. Hello and welcome to Your Health Naturally. I'm your host, Lilybeth Andre, naturopath and pranic healer. Today, I have the pleasure of presenting a great herbalist, Miranda Sparks Nieves. She is a licensed nurse, master herbalist, certified natural health practitioner, Reiki master, and NIA white belt. Miranda offers flower essence consultations for emotional and vibrational well-being, energy clearing, and holistic alignment through conscious awareness and body sensing, nutritional counseling to incorporate natural options into daily living to enhance health and vitality. Welcome, Miranda.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
We know that herbalism is the study of botany and use of plants for medicinal purposes or for supplementing a diet. And over the history of mankind, plants have been used for medical treatments, and these traditional medicines are still widely practiced today. Miranda, tell us about yourself and how you got started with your herbal therapies.
Well, I worked as a nurse for over a decade, and I had some physical ailments that led me to see a naturopathic doctor who is also a grandmaster iridologist. It was all very new to me, but very interesting because I'd always been interested in flowers and the plants. And she introduced me to healing modalities that deeply resonated with me, and I knew this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is natural and right. And so I started to learn all I could.
Mm-hmm. So what were some of the results that you noticed? How did they begin to affect you? How did you know that they were good for you?
Well, the reason that I sought her out in the first place is because I was having an adverse reaction to a very popular pharmaceutical drug, and the doctor didn't know what was causing it and wouldn't look to the medication as being the culprit, and said that I might need a liver transplant. And when I went to this iridologist, she said there's nothing wrong with your liver, that it's this medication. So if a pharmaceutical drug can cause that much damage to our body, that's just not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Noticing after I quit taking all those, I felt better than when I was taking them. And the plant medicine, it's gentle healing. It doesn't cause all these other side effects, and it doesn't cover up the problem. You know, a lot of times when we have a headache and we take a Tylenol or whatever we take, it doesn't make the headache go away. It just makes us not know the headache is there. And the headache is the messenger to the problem in the first place. The headache isn't even the problem. So if we're denying the messenger, then we're also denying the problem, and it just compounds and gets out of control.
What were some of the first therapies that you began to practice, or what were you introduced to at first?
Well, I had to cleanse my body. I had to detoxify. So burdock root, cilantro is great for getting heavy metals out of our body. You know, just cleaning myself out, and then taking things like turmeric to relieve all the inflammation from all the things that were inside. And you start feeling better pretty quickly.
It was pretty quickly. Did you go through a detox withdrawal type reaction? Or?
No, as soon as I stopped taking the pharmaceutical, I immediately got better. My liver enzymes dropped. I had been very jaundiced, and I started turning back my normal color. It just, within a couple of weeks, all my blood work was back to normal. The problem was solely that medication. And I didn't need to do any detoxification or anything for that to happen. It's just that after I realized that it was that caused that, then I sought out to cleanse myself of everything. And that was the very last time I've taken any type of pharmaceutical medication for anything. That was 2011. So, and my family as well. We haven't been to the doctor since then. Everything is in home. I make the elderberry, first sign of the sniffle. I'm pouring it down their throat, and we've made it through just fine.
Mm-hmm. So you're able to maintain good health for your family members?
Yes. I have a 7-year-old, so when he started school, he got, the common things when you're in a crowded room with a bunch of kids and all their germs, and he got the sniffles, and he started to run a fever a time or two, and the motherly instinct kicks in, and you get kind of afraid, like, oh, is this really going to be good enough for my baby? And you think, oh, maybe I should take him in. But I knew deep down in my heart that what the medicine or the medicinal plants that I had, I knew they would work. So it's just a matter of forgetting the fear. It's programmed fear, just letting that fear go and trusting your intuition. And I brought the fevers down. But I definitely did get scared a time or two. I no longer get scared. I completely trust myself and my knowledge and the plants.
How did you come across when did you start having the interest towards studying the herbalism?
Well, I went to that naturopathic doctor, and I said, I want to learn everything you know. Tell me where to go. So I went to get my certified natural health professional certification, and in doing that, I found Trinity, and they offered an herbalism program, an iridology program, and also to become an ND. And like I said, I've always loved plants. I was always sitting out in the wildflowers when I was little, and that's the direction I went. And learning about the plants and all the different ways you use them and their energetics, I was like, oh yes, I've always felt this as well. So I began learning energy, and energy healing, and that led me to Reiki. So it's just an ongoing process. You never really stop. You just continue to learn and grow and holy flow.
Yes. Well, I know that you mentioned some of these flower essences earlier. Let's see if we can get some of these images on the screen so we can hear a little bit of that.
This is zinnia.
Uh-huh. Tell us about the zinnia.
Zinnia is a very joyful plant. They grow tall and wild in so many different colors and styles, and they really make you feel joy. And if you look up the essence, that's exactly what the essence does. It brings a childlike joy back to your mood and your feeling. So this is a really good essence in the wintertime if you have the blues. I put it in my elderly dog's water bowl because he's getting kind of slow and he's not as happy, and I noticed that whenever he drinks it, he does get a spring in his step. So it would also be good for your grandparents or elderly relatives or just anyone you know, to help them feel a little more joy.
Who wouldn't want to feel a little more joy?
Childlike joy.
Sounds good to me. I think we had another flower here. What do we have here, Miranda?
This is a tulip, and this is just a very pretty picture. I don't really use the tulips medicinally. There might be something, but I don't know that one yet. This is bee balm and feverfew. Bee balm is also called Monarda. It's part of the mint family, and it does have a strong scent. It's and a strong flavor as well. It's really great for colds. It'll boost you up and make you feel better. The feverfew is great for migraines. If you have headaches, it's a very good preventative. It doesn't really help to make the headache go away once you have it, but it's great preventatively. I also use these two together to make a mosquito spray.
Okay, what do we have here?
This is a tea before it has steeped, and it's filled with all kinds of love. Passion flower for pain, vervain for stress, rose petals just for feeling joy and love and calm. Holy basil is an adaptogenic herb, and it just helps everything in your body. Burdock root is in the bag back there. It probably sank to the bottom because it's heavier. It's great for flushing out all our vital organs.
Sounds like a very yummy tea. And
This is chickweed, and on the left you'll see it's darker, or it's not darker, it's browner, and on the right it's more green, and it still has life to it, fluff. It's completely dry, but it retains some of its color and some of its smell. It's very important whenever you get herbs to make sure that they still have life within them, because if you get something that's been dried too fast or at too high of a temperature, it's dead, and you're not going to get the medicinal properties from it that you would a properly dried and cared for plant material.
we have a couple of pictures that show some of the preparation. What do we have here?
This is dandelion blossoms, and I like to infuse it in honey because I can sweeten my tea with it. Dandelion blossom literally is like sunshine, and it has mildly has the same properties as the plant itself for cleansing you out, but this is very good for muscle aches and muscle pains. It makes you feel joy, and it takes all those away. I also like to make a healing salve with the dandelion blossoms because both my girls were dancers and they were always sore.
Comes
so
in
we would rub
handy.
it on their muscles, and it really does help to feel better.
Okay, here's this one.
This is wild bergamot. It's a relative to the Monarda, and it basically tastes the same, and that is infused into honey, and oh my goodness, the taste of that honey is so minty and strong. And like I said, this is good for colds. You can just add it to your tea, and you're getting that medicinal property of the plant in your
So something like this, it's in honey?
Yes, ma'am, that's
okay.
honey. You need to make sure you use raw, unfiltered honey. That way you know that it still has all its antimicrobial properties in it, and it won't grow mold or anything like that. And whenever I infuse honey, I like to use the plants as is. I don't really like to let them dry out because I want to capture the life that's in them. And obviously that'll make your honey a little more runny, but still just as good. And you can add it to tea or just eat a spoonful.
And we could just leave the flowers in there?
I tend to leave them because I like to show my classes, but normally you strain it out and store it in a bottle in your pantry, a warm, dry place.
So it's better to strain it and bottle it?
Yes, about after 6 weeks.
6 weeks, okay. And
Some people do full moon to new moon or new moon to, I haven't really.
Just as a way to count or maybe capture some of the
No,
lunar energy?
There's something about the moon. You know, you're supposed to plant at the full moon because it pulls into the earth, and then I don't know. I just know that I've been corrected many times about, oh no, it's new moon to full moon. And I'm like, I know that there's something to that, but I have yet to study it. So I put it in there, and I really feel my way through. You know, sometimes it won't take 6 weeks. Depends on how thick the plant material is. Obviously a root is going to take longer, but a more dainty plant, it's not going to take 6 weeks. I just say 6 weeks for people that are starting out, or, you know, they don't really know the differences in the thicknesses and of the plants.
Okay, very good. Now, what do we have here, Miranda? It looks like a very interesting time happening at this table.
Oh yes, I like to teach. Instead of just healing people, I want to teach people how to heal themselves. And I teach a class at Deer Lake Lodge. It's a beautiful organic health spa, and people come in and I show them the different ways to use the plants, the flower essences, tinctures, tincturing with apple cider vinegar to make salad dressings, the witch hazel infusions. Those are some smudge sticks and some salves that I've made. And I always like to bring books, my favorite books, so they can take pictures if they're interested in learning more than the best ones that I've found that I think will help people. I like to share.
And how long are your classes?
Well, at Deer Lake, they're supposed to be an hour, but I tend to go over. It just depends on how many guests there are and how interested they are. And every class is different. Some people really want to know about essences, while others want to know about teas.
Okay, we're going to take a break and come right back.
Si tú sanas, todo tu entorno también. Ven a sanar con Vania y deja tu dolor, tristeza, frustración y sufrimiento. Reserva tu espacio para consultas con profesionales al 281-745-4309. 281-745-4309. Sana ya.
¿Eres beneficiario del DACA? No lo pienses más. Renueva tu permiso ya antes que esta ley sea removida. Llama ya a la oficina del abogado Cristóbal Galindo. 713-228-3030. 713-228-3030. Y te ayudaremos. No dejes que pase el tiempo y continúa siendo un soñador. Recuerda, llámanos al 713-228-3030. 713-228-3030. Te garantizamos que tu primer consulta será gratis.
Welcome back. We're here with my guest Miranda Sparks Nieves, and we're talking about herbalism. Miranda, what are some of the most important things that people should keep in mind when dealing with herbalism, or perhaps wanting to get an introduction of what herbalism is?
Well, they really should take a class. You shouldn't go out and just start picking things that you're not sure of, you know, because that can do more harm than good. Take a class. You can contact me on my website. It's markynlerden.com, MarkynLerden, and the explanation for that name is on there. It's all four of my kids melded together. I do one-on-one consultations for flower essence therapies. I can teach you how to use these more in depth. all the different ways to use the plant material that we touched on a little bit today. I can delve deeper in that and help you. And especially, it's important to learn what's around you, what grows near you. And that's the best place to start, is
And
just to look around.
earlier we talked about seasonal plants and the benefits. Tell us more about why it's important to look for seasonal plants.
Well, everything we need comes at the time that we need it. It's the cycles and the seasons and the rhythm of nature. So if it's growing in the winter, then it's obviously something our body needs in the winter, just like the fruits and the vegetables. Certain things are plentiful at certain times of year, and it's not a coincidence.
And what's one example? For example, what's plentiful right now? This is the fall.
Right now, elderberries. It's harvesting for elderberries to get ready for the winter season when there's so much sickness and colds going around. Elderberries actually prevent your cells from being infected any further, so you don't get any sicker, and then your body can build its immunity and get healthy quicker.
Wonderful for health maintenance. Now, you mentioned dandelion earlier. I know, people see it as a culprit in their garden. What's so good about a dandelion?
Oh, everything is good. And it comes in the spring when we need spring cleaning of our body as well as our homes. The dandelion leaves and the roots are excellent for flushing out our liver and our gallbladder, getting our digestion going, especially after the sedentary winter where we're eating heavy foods. It's just a beautiful plant to clean you out and get you ready for the summer months.
Now, what are some of the things that would be important to have over the summer?
Over the summer, well, bee balm, it's great to add to your tea. It's very minty.
Refreshing?
Yes, it is very refreshing. I like it a lot, and it does build your immune system, and it keeps you well, all over wellness.
Now, what are some of the ways where we can derive the benefits of the plants? I know tea is probably one of the more common ones.
Yes, teas, tinctures. You can use the dandelion leaves and raw apple cider vinegar, and instead of it feeling like you're taking your medicine, you can add extra virgin olive oil and some seasonings and use it as a salad dressing, so that you're getting these medicinal properties just in everyday life, incorporating it into your daily living instead of it being it's time to take this and it's time to take that. It becomes a way of life, and it really doesn't seem daunting or overwhelming anymore. It's just a part of your day.
What do we have here in this image?
This is the dandelion blossoms that was infused in the honey.
And here?
This is bergamot, wild bergamot, and that's also infused into honey. You can tell that I like honey infusions. It's great to add to your tea or just take a spoonful of.
So if we were preparing bergamot tea, what would we do?
You would boil it just like you would a tea bag. And they have little, I don't even know what they're called, those little metal eggs that you can put your herbs in if you don't want to mix it into the water. But like I was saying earlier, I love to watch them dance around. I really feel like when there's movement, it's extracting more of the medicinal properties when it's flowing around.
And tell us again, how can people find out about your upcoming classes, perhaps?
Well, I do regular basis at Deer Lake Lodge, so you can schedule a spa treatment and stay for a class. You can contact me on my website. I do one-on-ones. I do local retreats and health bazaars, or whenever I'm asked, I love to come and share. So.
And tell us your website again.
It's markynlerden.com, Markynlerden.com.
Great. Well, hopefully people will come to your website and find out more about what they could do with herbs to help maintain their good health.
Yes.
Miranda, it's been a pleasure having you here. Is there any closing thoughts that you might want to share with folks about herbalism?
It's a coming home. It's a coming back to what's real and what's right. It's holistic health. It's mind, body, spirit. It's the way that it was intended to be.
That is great. Thank you very much for
Thank
being
you
on
for
the
having
show.
me.
I want to let you all know that our next show will be presenting tip number 2 on my anti-aging series. And I hope to see you next week. Take care.
El programa anterior fue un programa pagado y las opiniones emitidas en el mismo no representan la opinión de CBBA Radio ni de sus patrocinadores.